Are you serious? Are you serious? We're saddened by the passing of a very prophetic voice in our generation, Clement. He was a powerful inspiration, musician, singer, and prophetic voice. He died a few days ago, and we're saddened as he was only 60 years old. Now, one of the prophecies he delivered in 2015. It had to do with the upcoming election in 2016. As a matter of fact, I had done a video this year, back on February the 3rd, 2016, in which I share with you the prophetic revelation of which Clement had received. He saw a great shaking in the land. He heard a sound reverberating throughout the land, that a voice would rise out of New York and would help bring righteousness to the land, protection for the land of Israel, and protection of this nation against ISIS. And other things were in the prediction, or prophecy, I should say. So I recorded it. I did a video about it back in February 3rd. It has 209,000 views. I'm going to put it in the description below, a link to it, so you can watch it in its entirety. Now, some of you remember that every year on New Year's Eve, I do a New Year's Eve broadcast live. I start around 7 o'clock in the evening and I go till midnight and beyond, bringing you the prophetic points of the next year, apocalyptic prophetic points to watch for in the coming year. One of those points last year, of course, was this, that the American election would shock the world. And at that time, as you know, there were three candidates: Hillary Clinton, Bernie Sanders, and Martin O'Malley. On the Republican side, there were 17 candidates. Well, certainly, this election shocked the world in many different ways, with Donald Trump winning the election. Now, is he that voice that's been risen out of New York, reverberating the land and bringing protection and restoring, maybe in some ways, some of the righteousness, or allowing the church and others to step up their game? Let's see. Only time will tell. But here's one thing we know: the prophecies are definitely coming to pass. Here is the first 3 minutes of that video in which I share with you Clement's part of his prophecy. Let's just listen to about 3 minutes of it, all right? I'm moving the microphone a little closer, and let's hear from this prophetic word. Are you serious? Are you serious? Now, folks, I've received a phone call and also a prophecy from a man by the name of Clement, and you may have heard of him. Clement did a prophecy on June the 19th of 2015, and it has to do, obviously, with the election. And what's some of the things about it, he doesn't prophesy who's going to win the election, but he does prophesy about an event or something that's going to come out during the election that is actually going to shock America, shock the world, basically. What's really weird about this is in my 16 points for this year, the one thing I received from the Lord was that the American election would shock the world, and yet I don't know what that means. Let me just read to you his prophecy, because I find it fascinating. He says, I've watched over this New York, and I've heard the sound in New Jersey. I've heard the sound in the Bronx. I've heard the sound in Long Island, saith the Spirit of God, and of those who are desperate. And there are a community of people, communities of people, that are afraid of ISIS, that are afraid that the Lord would withdraw his hand at such a critical time as this. But I am gathering the people together. I am gathering the Jewish people together. I am gathering the Christian people together. For this shall be a two-edged sword in New York. It shall be a very unusual thing that shall take place. And as a result, the unity of many Messianic Jews and many Christians, there shall be a light, and this light shall draw me here, and I shall choose someone that shall lead this nation. They will cry out, righteousness for the Jews, righteousness for the land of Israel, righteousness for the Christians, righteousness for New York, righteousness for America. Oh, but righteousness for his people. And God says, my church shall arise, and they shall stand hand in hand with Israel. And because of the race, New York shall shock the people, and the East Coast shall have a shaking and a reverberation that shall cause demonic powers to come down. Therefore I say to you, praise me, for I shall hear your praise, and I will hear your prayers, and I will raise up a voice from this region, saith the Lord. That's just part of the prophecy. I want you to hear it. And I shared that back on February 3rd of this year. And now, that voice, that prophecy from the late Clement certainly has and is coming to pass. I'll be back with more current world events and how they relate to Bible prophecy. Now, don't forget one more thing. T.D. Hale. I'm trying to get him back on my show. T.D. Hale had a dream December the 26th of 2015. In that dream, he saw the election process. He saw Donald Trump walking on Pennsylvania Avenue toward the White House with a coffin in front of him draped in an American flag. And this, you have to understand, this is an incredible dream to have back in December when you don't even know who's going to be the Republican nominee, let alone the Democrat nominee. But now, Trump has won the election. He's headed toward the White House. He's not there yet. A lot of prayers are going up. The prophetic word of God is everywhere. I'll be back with more current world events and how they relate to Bible prophecy. We're living in the last days. Are you saved? Give your life to Jesus Christ. We're running out of time.